coming with the implosion of our imperium, and it's coming with the rapid degradation of the ecosystem itself. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's how we cope with this change. Will we respond rationally? Will we learn to speak to the world with a new humility and recreate structures within our own communities for sustainability? Or will we continue to live in illusion? And in a way, it's a matter of awakening ourselves to our new reality and responding to it.
Welcome back to another episode of the worst show on the internet.
I don't know why you guys even watch this thing. What the hell?
Well. Look who it is. It's you. Welcome back to another episode of the best worst show on the internet, otherwise known as Griftcast IRL, hosted by Manuel Chavez the third or the third, depending on how you know me. And this is Griftcast IRL. What's up? This is that show where we'd be like, yo, we love money. Send us some more or whatever. Anyways, how you doing today? You doing all right? Are you just waiting for the amazing things to come? Well, I don't know what you're doing here, because if you were looking for amazing things, this is not where you're going to find it. Well, I mean, it depends on what your perception of an amazing thing would be, because, everybody's got a unique perspective on life or whatever, and you're supposed to just kind of go with the flow nowadays, right? Because you can be whatever you want. You want to be a meat popsicle? Done. You want to be a robot? No problem. You want to have a robot arm? Go for it. You want to turn yourself into a dog? Fine by me. It's your fucking journey. I don't really give a shit what y'all are doing. But what I do give a shit about is that making sure that you hit that like button, because it helps us in the algorithm, allegedly. Not that any help in the algorithm is going to make this show any better. But hey, we can still try or whatever, because I'm still not exactly sure if we're actually funny or not. But then again, a smart man once told me that you just keep doing until you try. Or maybe it was you keep trying until you do. I don't know what he was really talking about. Yeah. But so at least I'm here. At least we're starting out. At least we're doing something different today. Maybe it's not different or whatever, but maybe it's just the same thing. Jesus H. Christ. What are we even happening into in the future of today? And I don't know, man. I keep hearing that those lockdown things might be happening again. And I know I was talking about all this shit with 13%, Mr. 13% or Mr. Infowars or whatever, but now we're allegedly starting to see a lot more people come forward. I don't know. What's the term that is usually colloquially utilized in this particular situation? Wouldn't they call it a canary in a coal mine? Yeah, I think that's what they would call it. A canary in a coal mine. And maybe these are like the most insufferable people that we have ever seen or whatever. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis posted something rather strange, I would have to say, just a little bit ago. it's giving me flashbacks to not that long ago. Jamie Lee Curtis. And we're back. No, not Michael Myers, but masking will be. COVID is on the rise. So many friends are really sick. Be mindful. Wear a mask if required, or even if you feel unwell and are out in public spaces. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Hold up. We're going back to the lockdowns and shit? Man, dog, I thought we were done with all that shit. I thought we all figured out that that shit didn't really work. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist. Last time I checked, I wasn't a scientist, maybe like a data scientist, but whatever. That doesn't really seem to matter at this particular juncture, but it does seem like one of the main things that I've been seeing around the whole of the internet is that apparently this thing is coming back. So it was what, just 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, that we were talking about Alex Jones saying that he was getting super secret messages from his spies in the Border Patrol. And what was the other one? It was like another, like the TSA or some shit. Yeah, it was like TSA or something. Guys that wouldn't know before people like a celebrity like Jamie Lee Curtis. But then again, there's Jamie Lee Curtis. Who put her up to saying this? Is this like a paid thing? Is she like a paid influencer that they're like putting up on that shit or whatever? I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, everybody knows I don't like to talk about the roadies or, pandemics or any of that shit. Anytime the word pandemic has been on this channel, bad shit has happened. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day with freaking Jason Goodman and his pandemic bullshit about his Seth Rich files or whatever. And now we got the actual pandemic. And now they're telling me that there might be a problem, or, you gotta get ready to follow the rules, bish. So I figured I would talk it. And it made it even stranger for me because today the White House actually updated its whitehouse.gov/COVID plan. Yes, well, I mean, when I first saw it, I think I saw Jim Pool or Tim Pool or Dick Pool or whatever the hell we call his ass nowadays. I saw him talking about this, but yeah, it was showing that this page or whatever here for the COVID preparedness plan shit was actually updated today because apparently, yeah, I guess they're coming in talking about a new variant. And I mean, there's been whispers in the wind about us having to go back into lockdown status, and it seems like it might actually be a thing now that's going to be official. And I don't know if, like, Alex Jones talked about it, made them push it in farther, but a lot of it seems to be talk coming from the UK, right? Like the UK is already talking about new variants that are all over the place. I feel like we're talking about like a Marvel movie. Like, which variant of King the Conqueror are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that dresses up like a pharaoh? Are you talking about the one that's like a good guy? I don't fucking know. Maybe it's probably out of reference for you guys because y'all don't read comics, because y'all ain't nerds or whatever. But kind of makes me wonder a lot because obviously there's a lot of people with a lot of different opinions about what's going on in this whole entire situation. Yeah. Woo. But, I'm going to leave my opinions as they are or whatever, like I'm not giving out medical advice. We're not looking at data. I'm not making claims or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I seen on the internet. Please don't fucking censor the shit out of me, YouTube. All I'm saying is that, it seems like the government people, the government types are gonna be like, you might need to be wearing some masks here pretty soon. And obviously, y'all know how I feel about that situation. That's a big fuck you or whatever. I mean, I guess, if I'm working a contract and I want to keep that contract to get money and not die, like die from being homeless, obviously. Uh, I gotta like facilitate that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get a pretty interesting, I guess, go around to see how this whole thing shakes out. Because new contracts, working with government entities, you can make certain how would you say requests of the company. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is that, yeah, I'm gonna be working an interesting little government job, or I'm gonna be contracted to work at a government facility in a government job for a government job that they apparently didn't want to hire somebody directly for because they're cheap or something like that. Not exactly sure how all that shit works. But what I am sure of is that, boy, they asked a whole lot of really interesting questions, and it seems like we're going to get a lot of really interesting answers directly from the state situation on how that stuff's going to work. Because y'all know that I'm going to be all like, oh, they asked me about, my medical history or whatever. I just look at them and say, hmm. I go, hmm. And they go, hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't answer medical questions of anybody. As much as you need to know is that I'm a healthy individual. And then here's my letter from CISA that says, fuck off. Right? Actually, I don't think that letter works anymore, but still, I'm going to use it anyway. So I'm sure each and every single one of you guys is probably not exactly worried about it. Maybe you are worried about it. I don't really know. It seems for the most part, everybody out there has been kind of worried about other things, like, I don't know, paying for the price the price of gas, paying for food, hoping that their goddamn house doesn't burn down because all of the goddamn wildfires that are going on across the United States. But shit, guys, why not? Let's just throw another virus on top of that shit. And still, what the happened to the flu, man? Like, what does the flu not exist anymore? Did we beat the flu? Because that's just amazing, to be honest. I'm just saying. Like, I don't even hear anybody talk about that shit anymore. And it used to be like big deal. Now everybody's all talking about COVID and shit like that. Like COVID. It's all about COVID. You gotta worry about the COVID. So yeah, I guess is it like a 1, 2, 3 punch? 1, 2, 4 punch? I don't know. It seems like they're trying to stack stuff on us. Like if I was sitting on the outside looking in, doing the 400,000-foot view or the fifth dimensional being view or whatever, it definitely seems like they're trying to close us in on multiple sides. I mean, look at this shit that's been going on over the past couple of weeks. Like, we got a president or a potential president or a candidate for president that's about to be arrested in Georgia for alleged Rico crimes that may or may not have actually happened. Yeah, what a crazy situation or whatever. So, at the same time, that's one wall of the box, right? And then now they're putting another wall up. So we got 4 walls, and that's the 4 indictments. And then they just put a lid on it, right? With the friggin' pandemic. So it's like they're just walling us in. You know what I'm saying? Digitally, mentally, physically, spiritually. That's what's happening right now. We're being walled off. And it feels to me like they're just trying to really make it so that the normal people out there in the world with regular thoughts that see what's happening as just a bad thing for America in every way imaginable. I mean, dude, like whoever thought that the people in charge would go to such lengths to hurt someone that they know can beat them legitimately. I just don't know what's happening. I mean, all questions aside, it's like every single little thing that I'm looking at right now really seems to be crazy. And I mean, when I look at these types of things right here from Morris Brown College, August 20th, effective immediately, Morris Brown College has reinstated its COVID-19 mask mandate due to reports of positive cases among the students in Atlanta University Center. So it's like, whoa, hold up. Holy, this is really, really taking people into a crazy place, right? Like I've been seeing this getting floated around and people saying, oh, it's confirmation that, whatever Alex Jones was saying was real. And I mean, Alex Jones didn't mention anything about Morris Brown College. He said the Border Patrol, like the TSA or some shit. So I mean, and specifically here, they're only talking about the college itself because apparently some cases were reported from a sister college. And as you know, when you're in college, you like to party. So you party at various different colleges. And it seems like number one, they're trying to stop people from doing the large gathering things, but in no way is this really associated to the entire country because this is the only thing that we've actually seen that says that the mandates are coming back, right? But even then, it's not talking about the entire country. No, it's only talking about this one fucking place. So like I read over the COVID preparedness plan on the White House website, and I don't see anything on there that says anything about it actually coming back up again and it's going to be a thing. The closest that I think that I've seen is news out of the UK that there's variants that are swirling up, but like on every single actual government agency entity website or whatever, even the CDC, like nobody's talking about that this is going to be a possibility. And I mean, as far as this goes with the actual college itself, this is actually just regular normal protocol, is it not? Like each of these schools and whatnot can make the decisions or whatever to try to ask people to do that stuff. But, you know, it being a mandate means that it's not a law. So it's not like you can be arrested for it. I don't know if that's still the case, but it does seem quite disturbing, you know. Maybe people are taking it too far, as I would say, because it is just simply this one college and just this one college coming out and doing this for a specific reason about cases at another college doesn't immediately say that it's happening all the way across the world. And this is a normal thing that's been happening at different colleges all across America for the last 6 to 8 months at least, right? It's just that at this time, somebody put it out. It slowly but surely lines up with something that Alex Jones said on a show, and then everybody's just kind of up on it. Like, well, still haven't seen any government people. I mean, what was the last thing that we heard from Joe Biden about any of this stuff? Nothing. I think he was in Maui, right? He was in Maui talking about his car that burned down or some shit like that. I don't know. So where we go from here, I don't know. What I do know is that I'm here to tell you everything that I think. And as far as I goes right now, I'm not exactly worried about a new mask mandate that's going to be coming up. It seems like it's only this one place, and I haven't, like, trust me, I fucking looked. I didn't see any shit about anything else. I didn't see anything coming from what I would consider to be a reputable source, right? And my thoughts on reputable sources are way different than whatever your thoughts on reputable sources are. It's not like I'm using a website or something like that to figure that shit out. Just, many years of me going through and saying, I would say it is kind of strange. We should at least be vigilant and aware because, like, seriously, you guys know what my thoughts are. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to get a shot. I don't even get the flu shot. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying that I'm late. I'm either lazy or I'm like a superhuman. Either way, I don't need all that shit. Big titties over here don't need that shit. And that's just my choice. I'm going to die when I die. And then it's going to be over. And then I'll go to that black place or whatever. Maybe I'll just like go somewhere else. I don't know. It's up to you. I've already died at least a few times. And I'm back here. So it is what it is, folks. You just kind of got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm not bending the knee. That's what I'm not doing. I really don't feel like bending the knee. And if I lose out or miss out on opportunities because of it, you know what? Fuck it. It's whatever, dude. We're just gonna have to do exactly what we did before, which is literally change nothing. And I mean, literally at points in time, the only time I even wore a mask was when I was like working and I didn't want to be harassed because I needed to make money. And at this point in time, I don't even want to do that because like that shit's stupid. Like if I'm sick, I'll wear a mask to not get other people sick. But like other than that, like fuck that. I ain't wearing that shit again. Not doing it again. I'm not fucking doing it again. And I hope that you're not doing it again either. But you know what? I can't tell you what to do. I don't know what your journey is. I don't know what your fucking life is. I don't know if you love getting told to do what to do by the government in every single way and you want to be a bootlicker or whatever. I mean, that's totally on you, dog. You can do whatever you want. All I'm saying is that I will not comply. And I am saying that that's my choice, right? Like, that's my choice. And if my non-compliance basically makes me less American than the rest of the people, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's what I say. And, to be frank, all this stuff that I've been seeing on top. Like, here's probably one of the biggest posts that's talking about how this is going to be coming back up from the at Wall Street Apes, one of those AMC GameStop movers and shakers. New from the UK, they're lying to us in America. US leaked Biden regime to reinstate COVID-19 restrictions, beginning with mask mandates as COVID cases rise, says TSA Border Patrol whistleblowers. Remember, that was from Alex Jones, right? Nobody provided any proof of any of those things being said. As far as we know, the government or any type of uh, Five Eyes, whatever the fuck, is going to look at this information and immediately flag it as disinformation because of the obvious sources that are involved with it, right? And it's really weird to me sometimes is that it gets put out saying that they got all this, like, proof, but, I ain't seeing proof, dog. All I see is this video of this chick that seems kind of sexy. Like, she seems a little sexy.
I'm just going to say this. I heard this morning on another podcast that this variant obviously is
Not as much as I like to cheat sheet.
already
Sorry,
sweeping
I'm
the
okay.
UK. They're considering having all their citizens in the UK mask up
Never
again.
gave it to me.
Guys, I am begging you. If you stood down in 2020, please stand up in 2023 when this hits our shores. Because if you think you lost freedom last time, it ain't going to be nothing compared to what they're going to do this time. And if we overwhelm these idiots and let them know that we will not do this,
I will not comply.
and those of us that stood last time don't have to stand alone, then we can beat this. We can actually beat them at their game this time. So please don't be a coward this time. Don't mask your kids up. Don't go and not go to the grocery store without your mask on.
Bitch,
Don't
you're gonna
send your
get
kids
thrown
to
in the
school with
gulag.
masks on. Don't stop hugging each other. Don't stop going to church. And if your pastor shuts his doors, find a new church. If your pastor finds a way to agree with the narrative, find a new church this time. Guys, we are living in the end, and they are trying so hard to tear down our country from within. And they're doing it, and they're going to continue doing it. And the only way for us to push it back is to stand up. There are far more of us than there are of them. But they are going to work exceptionally hard, and I guarantee you, if they start pushing this in our country, it will be far worse than it was last time. Far worse than it was last time. They want 15-minute cities. They want us to stop communicating with each other. They want to censor us. They want to shut us down. We have to stand. We're already seeing it with what's going on in Hawaii. And if you think that was a natural disaster, you got another thing coming.
Wow. So, yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of that going around. I mean, literally, that is the narrative right there. So the narrative comes from InfoWars, Alex Jones's people, and has been seeded out through myriads of different ways. And this is much different from what we saw back in like 2017, 2016, 2015, when the way the information was being trafficked was in a different way. Like, there was less platforms for this information to go up on. There was less like ability for people to go viral on these platforms because shorts didn't exist back then, remember? So now, when Alex Jones puts something out like that, it's infinitely easier for thousands of influencers, so-called influencers, Twitter profiles, TikTok influencers, whoever, what have you, for them to basically just scoop the information as it was real. And since the medium of attention span has gotten so short, people are down to tops 1 minute of attention span time. Sometimes 30 seconds is too long. All they're doing now is basically rebroadcasting the same information, but basically being almost like an information shield. So, as they said, the information war would be fought, like fifth generational warfare is information warfare, and all of these different people don't find themselves as being literally like foot soldiers on the scene. And we keep getting it constantly, whether it's a TikTok influencer or another person. It's not like the information that she's saying is bad, right? It's not like
I'm just going to say this. I heard this morning on another podcast that
I heard this morning on another podcast. No, you heard this morning on InfoWars, Alex Jones. If you said that, the information would have such a different fucking hit, wouldn't it? Right? It would have a different hit if she said that, wouldn't it? Because then she would get flagged on TikTok through their artificial intelligence and shit like that. But no, it's easier, isn't it? If you edit your language, because you got to remember, these people believe that they're battling against an artificial intelligence, which they are. And that artificial intelligence is listening to the words that you say and contextualizing the things that you say. So if you adjust your thought patterns and speech patterns, you can basically rebroadcast this information with literal impunity, right? It was just that one little edit, right? And saying, I heard on the Alex Jones InfoWars podcast that the UK mandate thing is going big. No. She just says, I heard it on a podcast. What podcast? I don't know what podcast. Did they have any evidence or proof? Did they show us any documents or anything that's going to give us any opportunity? No, they didn't. So think about that. At the end of the day, do we know if this is a real thing? Do we know if the Biden administration is definitely going to lock our asses down? The answer is no, we do not know that. The only person that's talked about it, mentioned anything about it, without providing any evidence is Jones. And you know what? With the 13%, maybe 14% record or whatever, possibly it could be something coming up. But I mean, wouldn't you have thought that they would have already started talking about it? I mean, the closest thing that we've gotten is an update to the COVID preparedness plan page. And even then, the update was literally nothing. So, yeah. Where do we go with that? I don't know, man. I figured I would talk about it because some of y'all would like to talk about it. And we all have to just understand that there is something that is going down. We're understanding the source of the information and how the information flows. Now, in a couple of days, if something else comes out, obviously we're going to have to come back to the situation. But obviously, we're only looking for a few things in order to believe the information is solid, right? Because you can't just believe every little thing that somebody posts on the internet. QAnon taught us that very exact thing. So just beware. Use your brain or whatever. Put yourself into somebody's shoes or whatever. Put yourself out there. Do your thing. Yeah. Do your thing. Well, I guess what else do we have to do here? Well, we're all waiting for the whole Trump situation to get resolved. And I don't know, man. Seems like a couple of people have already brought themselves to the court. Like John Eastman, that is surrendered to the Fulton County Jail after he was charged with 9 counts of Rico.
Watch some of our exchange. Do you still think the election was stolen? Absolutely.
He says, God damn, this guy's got fucking big ass balls. Dude, he got the fucking
Do you think that the others in this case have a standing on that? People like
he probably walks like a fucking cowboy at this point. Because his nuts are so big, you know what I'm saying?
Meadows?
No comment.
Did they do a mugshot and everything inside?
No comment.
No comment.
Thank you, sir.
No comment,
about
bitch.
the 2020 election.
No
Watch some of
comment.
our exchange.
Yeah. So John Eastman has been put it out there. There's John Eastman's booking photo right there. He looks pretty good, I'd say, for fucking, how old is this motherfucker? Man, he looks old as fuck, man. He's wrinkly as shit. God damn, Sewer got robbed. Is a member of 50 months. 50 motherfucking months. This guy's been here for 50 months. 50 damn months. Hanging out over here, paying me money every month. Damn, those are the perfect kind of people out there. Members, the ones that give me money and respect everything that we do or whatever, even though everything we do is kind of ass. Well, not ass. We try hard for the best worst show on the internet. You can't have the best worst show without having at least one person that's been on the clock for 50 months. and it's Sewer Guy Rob. So you know what? A lot of y'all have somebody to beat right now, at least in the membership game. I don't really think that there's anybody that's been a member longer than him. Some people's memberships have dropped off and not pat back up, but you know, he's been the longest consistent member since the membership thing started on YouTube, which is crazy. I bet you there's big ass channels that don't have that kind of retain. That's right. That's right. That's right. So thanks a lot, Sewer Guy Rob. We appreciate that. And thank you. Thank you again. And you guys can become members too. All you have to do is hit the join button. And you get all kinds of really great stuff that you can be a part of. Although it's a super secret. You got to become a member first to figure out what you get. But I think you'll like it. And you do know that you guys can gift memberships to people. If you click on the little super chat button, it does allow you to give memberships to people randomly. However, if you are a person that watches the channel, there's apparently a setting that you have to turn on in order to accept those gifts. Yeah. So yeah, you'll probably see that when if somebody ever actually, I don't know, donates those. I don't know. It's Griftcast IRL, but you know, it ain't much of a grift nowadays. You know what I mean? It's whatever though. All right, back to the news. Oh yeah, we were talking shit about John Eastman. Look at his fucking ears, bro. Like, what is going on with his ears? Like, one of his ears is flopped to the side. He kind of looks like a fucking golden retriever or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Poor guy. Poor old fuck. Getting arrested and shit. Yeah. So let's see. What did he say right here? Let's just see.
All we are demanding of Vice President Pence is this afternoon at 1 o'clock, he let the legislatures of the state look into this so we get to the bottom of it and the American people know whether we have control of the direction of our government or not. All we are demanding of Vice...
Yeah, that's why he got picked up, whatever the fuck. It was over that little bit. That little ditty. That little shitty ditty. You know what I'm saying? Poor John Eastman. And you would have thought that would have been like the biggest thing here, but like I don't know. It's kind of crazy. And I mean, in this particular case in Georgia, where there's only 2 days left for each of the defendants to appear before the court and surrender themselves, because that's what they want for it to be happening. It seems like the judge is already setting bonds for each defendant before they surrender for the processings. Yeah. So, I mean, we knew that Donald Trump's bond was set at $200,000. Now we know Jenna Ellis's bail is at $100,000, and now we got another guy that's at $75,000, another guy at $50,000. And I mean, at this point, I'm like, damn, son, like just in this one case alone, they're going to be collecting bail fees probably upwards of $500,000, if not more, almost $1 million, which has got to be a real interesting grift for them, because obviously they're going to do whatever they can to keep that money. I mean, you know, oh, you guys said the wrong thing. We're going to fucking throw you in jail. Oh, you tweeted. I got you. We're taking your money. You guys are fucked. So, and we know this is all over the 2020 election and the alleged false statements that were being made and this sweeping racketeering indictment that's utilizing Rico laws that were colloquially only used for, I don't know, like actual fucking criminals that did actual bad things that aren't provably, laughably false or whatever. But you know what? Hey, Georgia DA is going to do whatever she wants to do. It's not like she had any credibility when she started, and she's going to lose all of it. But by the end of this case, I mean, they're going to try really fucking hard to put every single one of these people behind bars. But I just don't see this as a possibility of it being happening in any way, shape, or form. But it brings us to the whole Trump situation because, I mean, he's got till Friday, right? Like, and after that, they're going to put out a warrant for his arrest, and then they're going to arrest him. How does that work with the Secret Service and shit? You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, does the Secret Service go with him? Are they going to be in like jail with him? Does the Secret Service have more authority than the local police? I mean, there's so many questions that I feel like aren't going to be getting answered in this entire situation, but you know, it is what it is, right? Like Jack Posobiec posted this little ditty earlier today that says, "Good morning, Mr. Moran. I am not granting any extensions. I gave 2 weeks for people to surrender themselves to the court. Your client is no different than any other criminal defendant in this jurisdiction. The 2 weeks was a tremendous courtesy. At 12:30 p.m. on Friday, I shall fire warrants in the system. My team has availability to discuss the reasonable consent bonds Wednesday and Thursday. In your service, Fannie T. Willis." Yeah, yeah. That's actually a real email from Fannie T. Willis. Not sure why there's so many grammatical errors, although I could probably make a couple educated guesses that would make me sound racist. Let's see. And I'm not sure why she keeps on changing the font like in the middle of the thing. You know, she's got a different font for her freaking signature than she does for the email body itself. And then the email body, while hard to actually notice, it's actually utilizing two different fonts, which is crazy. And then on top of that, the actual like tagline at the bottom is in a complete. So there's like 4 different fonts on this fucking thing. So I don't know what the hell she was up to. I don't know why she did it like this, but damn, bitch, like you don't even have you can't. Grammarly is free unless you want to be like me and just write shit wrong because you don't give a fuck. God damn, bitch. Maybe it's just copy paste. I don't know. Yours in service. Yours in. She's super good at all of this stuff. So I don't know, dude. Does it look like hard ass Fannie T. Willis is going to be giving anybody any extensions? And she doesn't seem to care about what's actually happening in the presidential race or anything. Has no fears that she is interfering with an election of any kind. I mean, it's just this is a crazy situation, okay? And it only gets stranger and weirder every single time I look into it. It's almost like, God damn, son. Like, here's another person that also got arraigned or arrested, their mugshot taken, and that would be Scott Hall, which is another one of the individuals that was a part of Donald Trump's alleged Rico criminal organization, whatever the fuck. Which is kind of strange because I actually remember talking about this a while back and it being one of the plays that they were actually going to be making. And now that they're actually making that play, I think everybody is probably not as shocked as they would have been. But it is whatever. People don't generally give folks credit where credit is due anymore. It seems to just be part of this new neo weirdness situation that we're all associated to, the way that everything is working. Yeah. I don't know. Yep. What happens if Trump refuses to pay bail? That would have the house. That would have House of his Secret Service cost them more than $200,000. Oh yeah, that's right. It would. I mean, I don't think that he should refuse bail at all. I think he should just let it happen, dude. I mean, if they're gonna throw him in jail at this point, he's basically already won. Anything more than they try to do to him is just going to make them look pretty fucking stupid. It's gonna make them look pretty fucking stupid. Pretty fucking stupid. But you know what? Stupid is as stupid does, okay? Yeah. Stupid is as stupid does. So what else? What else do we have to talk about today? I do have a couple of other little chintzy little links that we would put out here for you guys that we found on the Discord that we figured we would bring up. Yeah. Because it does seem like without us even looking at any other problems of the world today, sometimes people are still worried about the border, right? Yeah, let's worry about the border. Open the floodgates at the Arizona border allows thousands of migrants to walk in the country. What? Yeah. The door to America is wide open and thousands of migrants are crossing into Arizona every single day. Yes, U.S. officials have inexplicably welted open 114 massive gates along the U.S. border to allow water to flow freely during the monsoon season and the migration of an endangered species of antelope. But it's also allowing the average of 1,400 migrants from as far away as China to walk casually into the country daily. Yep, that's right. The floodgates are literally open. Literally open. And you would think, yeah, probably during a flash flood season would probably be the worst time to cross into the United States through, I don't know, a desert where lots of flash floods seem to be happening, but that doesn't seem to be stopping anybody because, well, they literally welded open the floodgates so that they ain't got to worry about that anymore. And of course, every individual that's looking to get into the United States, no question asked, is, well, getting it done. So, are we happy that Joe Biden had the fence welded open and the floodgates welded open nearly 2 months ago? Because that's when it actually happened. They welded open the gates 2 months ago. So did they know that there was going to be a gigantic tropical storm and tropical depression hitting 2 months ago? No, I don't think they did. I think that they opened them up for a different reason and they just stay open because it's easy to let them stay open, right? Oh, and yeah, if anybody asks, we can just say, oh, we just recently did it. No, you didn't recently do it. It's been open for about 2 months now. And yeah, literally, large metal pins have been welded to the gate so that it cannot be closed. And I wonder who did this. Was it the United States government that did this? Was it the Border Patrol that went down there and did this? Or was it some sort of, I don't know, cartel business that made sure that they were able to do all of that? They saw the gates open one time and they went and decided to weld them all down. So, busloads of migrants can go in on one side, come out on the other side. People can just drive a motorcycle right on through, and there's really nothing anybody can do to stop them. But it's even stranger that they're saying that we tried to shut the gates, but the order came down that we had to leave them open. You wouldn't leave your front door open in a bad neighborhood now, would you? No, well, in the United States, apparently, we leave our front door open because we don't give a fuck. I think it's because we got all them guns or whatever. I don't really know. But what I do know is that, damn, Joe Biden, you're really doing us a great job here. Yeah, it's a great job. You know what? Just let them come in. It's fine. It's fine. We could use more Americans to vote for Democrats. Yeah. What's this? A key witness in the Trump classified doc probe case changed testimony after switching lawyers, says special counsel. Oh, really? Did he change testimony, or are you just using this to be a further dipshit? Yeah. What is this? Readout of Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen H. Hicks roundtable meeting with West Point cadets on climate and resilience. What the fuck? Climate and resilience? Are you kidding me? The hell? Why would we care? Why would they care about that? It seems stupid as fuck. Let's just have the robot read it really quick because I want to see if that's...
Pentagon spokesman Eric Pan provided the following readout. Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks met via Zoom today with cadets and a newly commissioned second lieutenant from the Sustainable Infrastructure, Resilience, and Climate Consortium, SIRCC, program at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, USMA. Today's meeting was a precursor to her visit to USMA next week to deliver an address highlighting the impact climate change will have on military operations, and how energy resilience and sustainability efforts improve readiness and advance Department of Defense priorities. While at the Academy, she will also meet with administrators, faculty, and cadets to discuss a broad range of issues. During the meeting, Deputy Secretary Hicks thanked the 9 cadets and lieutenant for their commitment to service and discussed the SIRCC program and how future Army leaders might approach the challenge of sustainability, resilience, and future climate-related issues. SAC is a partnership between West Point and the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Installations, Energy and Environment, ASA, IE&E, to educate future Army leaders on how sustainability and resilience can increase force readiness while addressing the threats of climate change.
Oh, cool. Cool. The United States military is super worried about climate change. Oh, how fantastic is that? That's super great, isn't it? Yay! Yeah, I'm sure that's what the future military leaders need to be worried about is sustainability. Yeah, we need to worry about sustainability and resilience. We shouldn't be worried about going to war with China and Russia or anything like that. That doesn't seem like it. Right? I don't think that the BRICS countries are a big problem for us or whatever. Oh, but maybe it is. Because that's what people are saying. In less than 24 hours, everything changes for the United States. The de-dollarization moment might finally be here. A gold-backed currency that stands as the backbone of a new BRICS currency is being rolled out in earnest. In 24 hours, Putin and China will change everything. Yes, tomorrow, a BRICS lightning bolt will start the Western hegemony that's been worrying the world for decades. Western media is totally ignoring the story, by the way, because they don't want to admit what's about to happen. Goldman Sachs, though, understands it. They believe that by the year 2050, the BRICS nations will dominate the global economy. So Tuesday, yes, tomorrow, the BRICS summit officially kicks off in South Africa, and it is the first face-to-face BRICS summit since the start of COVID. We are about to be witnessing the rebalancing of the world order. The agenda items of the summit are massive. The currency, yes, a new currency, trade, military cooperation, AI, microchips, oil, all of it, infrastructure, rail line shippings. This is a big, big deal. And the United States, I guess, didn't get an invitation. And the British didn't get an invitation. Germany isn't welcome. Is the game over for the Western hegemony? Well, the writing is on the wall. Oh, yeah. Did you hear about that? The BRICS currencies are going to be coming today. Oh, that's today. Tuesday is today. So, did the de-dollarization of America finally happen? Do we finally have something reality?
Change everything. Yes, tomorrow a BRICS lightning bolt will shock the Western hegemony that's been ruling the world for decades.
Money
the
printer
Western
go
media is totally
BRICS!
Ignoring the story, by the way, because they don't
Can't
want to
go
admit
brr
what's
on
about to
gold-backed
happen.
currency.
Goldman Sachs, though, understands it, and they believe that by the year 2050, the BRICS nations will dominate the global economy. So on Tuesday, yes, tomorrow, the BRICS summit officially kicks off in South Africa. This is the first face-to-face BRICS summit since the start of COVID, and we are about to witness a rebalancing of the world order.
I didn't actually
The
know
agenda
there was a video
items
on
at
it.
this summit are massive. The currency, yes, a new currency, trade, military cooperation, AI, microchips, oil, all of it, infrastructure,
Iron Man
rail
suits.
lines, shipping. This is a big, big deal. And the United States, I guess, didn't get an invitation. The British didn't get an invitation. Germany isn't welcome. Is the game over for the Western hegemony? Well, the writing is on the wall. Now, for those of you that don't know, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And it started out small over a decade ago, and now it's become the greatest threat to Western power that we've ever seen. And I'm not talking about military power here, which we'll get to in a second. I'm actually talking about economic power, oil power, computer
could go
power,
wrong?
trade power, the greatest weapons of all, not those bombs. Now, the top of the agenda is the United States dollar, squarely in the crosshairs. Here's how Foreign Policy magazine headlines this moment. A BRICS currency could shake the dollar's dominance. The de-dollarization moment might finally be here. Really? Is it true? After all, talk of getting rid of the US dollar as a reserve currency goes back to the 1960s. Here's the New York Times. In 1968, talking about France trying to separate itself from the US dollar. Yes, French President Charles de Gaulle versus Lyndon Johnson. That's how old this is. That's how far back this goes. This isn't new at all. But now we are at a tipping point. Brazil's president, Lula da Silva, says that every night he asks himself why all of these countries have to base their trade on the US dollar. Can you imagine every night before going to bed, that's the thought that you have? Well, he does. Well, now they don't. A gold-backed currency that stands as the backbone of a new BRICS currency is being rolled out in earnest. Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, trading oil, computer chips, minerals, and settling those transactions in a reserve currency that has nothing to do with the US dollar. All of the previous meetings of these BRICS nations have been leading up to this moment in South Africa.
BRICS countries are home to more than 3.2 billion
Doesn't
people,
that sound
around
fantastic?
40% of the global
That just means
population.
your gas is gonna
None of
cost
the
twice
bloc's
as much
members
as it
is in
already
the
does.
G7, the group of 7 advanced economies. To increase its influence, BRICS is considering bringing new members into the fold.
Just look at the trade between the BRICS nations. There's a massive financial surplus. The BRICS nations have a trade surplus. Brazil just hit a record trade surplus. So why would they want to settle these transactions with US dollars? Doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, Europe's trade deficit has hit a new record, nearly $500 billion trade deficit. Which side would you rather be on? Of course, this isn't happening overnight, and there are big impediments to a BRICS currency. The biggest issue right now is that if Russia wants to import things from other countries that are not named China, they'll likely have to settle it in US dollars if they want to import those items. But what if more countries want to join BRICS and ditch the US dollar? Then there's safety in numbers, and the number of people you're doing imports from are part of your BRICS conglomerate. In fact, other countries are noticing and beginning to join. At this summit, Russia and China are expected to approve the new applications of a bunch of new countries into BRICS: Algeria, Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, just to name a few. They've all submitted requests for membership to be a part of BRICS. And the Turkish government has expressed an interest in joining the group. Those are just a few of the names. But wrap your heads around this one. More than 40 other countries are now vying to join BRICS. 40.
40. Yeah. BRICS, baby.
All of the previous meetings.
BRICS, baby. That's happening today, dude. Think about that. All those big oil countries with trade surpluses all coming together to fight the Western hegemony. Yeah, it seems like, as J.R. Rick says, the United States government is probably going to try to go to war over this. And I mean, are we seeing the formulation of the Third World War? Because it's clear to me that it's not going to just be a battle on a battlefield. I mean, fifth generational warfare starts on the internet and expands economically. And right now, this is an economic move by a bunch of different countries to basically kill off the United States. And right now, they have actually almost enough countries that have joined on to really, really do it. Because if we aren't the reserve currency of the world anymore, things just go from bad. If you thought that what we were experiencing now was bad, that $70 worth of groceries that fits in one bag was bad, well, it's going to get a lot worse. And is America ready for it? I don't think so. I mean, we don't have the infrastructure to facilitate any of that stuff. And honestly, the workforce is probably even worse. So the only thing that the United States, I think, could do to fight this would be for them to come out with their own cryptocurrency or their new world reserve currency of some kind, something we've been discussing for a very, very long time. But this is going to kick them into the pants and push them into overdrive. And I think this is when we finally are going to develop, and we're going to see if it's really going to be a Dogecoin like digital currency, or something that's going to be more akin to, like, I don't know, an XRP type deal, because we know that they're not actually going to use XRP because of all the lawsuits and shit like that. But it does seem like we're pretty much there. We're about to find out the real future of what's about to be happening here, or if we're even going to have a financial future, because it's a big deal, man. It's really happening. It's something that you should be worried about. And if you're not worried about it, well, fuck, dude. I mean, we just have the usual countries with us. We only have the usual countries with us. And there's a lot more countries that are going to be against us. And we're going to be fighting a war on multiple fronts. And I don't think that it's going to be something that we're going to be able to handle. And with the people that we have in charge now, they definitely don't seem to have the ability to fight this one out in the way that it needs to. So I think we're pretty much screwed, at least on that particular aspect. Yeah, we're pretty much screwed. But that's okay. Somebody posted this one to me today, or yesterday, actually. Visualizing a mysterious dance, the quantum entanglement of photons captured in real time. Researchers at the University of Ottawa, in collaboration with Danilo Zia and Fabio Cesarano and Sapienza University of Rome, recently demonstrated a novel technique that allows the visualization of a wave function of two entangled photon in the elementary particles that constitute light in real time. Using an analogy of a pair of shoes, the concept of entanglement can be likened to selecting a shoe at random, and the moment you identify one shoe, the nature of the other, whether it's left or right, is instantly discerned, regardless of its location in the universe. However, the intriguing factor inherent to the uncertainty associated with the identification process until the moment of the exact observation. The wave function is a central tenet in quantum mechanics. It provides a comprehensive understanding of the particle's quantum state. For instance, in such a shoe example, the wave function of the shoe could carry information such as left or right, size, the color, and so on. More precisely, the wave function enables quantum scientists to predict the probable outcomes from various measurements on a quantum entity, e.g., the velocity, position, etc. This predictive capability is invaluable because of the rapidly progressing field of quantum technology, where knowing a quantum state which is generated or input in a quantum computer will allow to test the computer itself. Moreover, quantum states used in quantum computing are extremely complex, involving many entities that exhibit strong non local correlations, i.e., entanglement. Knowing the wave function of such a quantum system is a challenging task, and this is also known as quantum state tomography, or quantum tomography in short. With the standard approaches in full, interesting. So, somebody took a picture of what quantum entanglement looks like in real life or whatever, apparently, and it seems to look almost exactly like a yin and yang, doesn't it? Wow, that's super fucking weird. Why does it look exactly like a yin yang? Yep, it does look exactly like a yin yang. Just turned on to the side. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that's super weird. The yin yang is one of the most dominant concepts shared by different schools of thought in history and Chinese philosophy. Just as many other Chinese philosophical notions, the influences of the yin yang are easy to observe, but its conceptual meanings are hard to define. Kind of like quantum mechanics. That's weird. Huh. Chinese philosophical notions and influence of the yin yang are easy to observe, but the conceptual meanings are hard to define. Despite the differences in interpretation, application, the appropriation of the yin yang, three concepts underlie nearly all deployments of the concept of Chinese philosophy. Number one, the yin yang is a coherent fabric of the nature of the mind exhibited in all existence. Photons. Yin yang is a Zhao interaction between the waxing and waning of the cosmic and human realms. Photons. Yang Yang as a process for harmonizing and ensuring a constant dynamic balance of all things. Photons. Wow. As Zhua Xing claims, Yang is in its highest form is freezing, while Yang in its highest form is boiling. The chillness comes from heaven, while the warmth comes from earth. The interaction between these two establishes he, or harmony, so it gives birth to things. Perhaps this is the law of everything, yet there is no form to be seen. In none of these conceptions of the yin yang is there a valuation hierarchy as if yin could be extracted from yang or vice versa, regarded as a superior, considered metaphysically separated by the distinct. Instead, yin yang is emblematic of the valuational equality rooted in the unified dynamic and harmonized structure of the cosmos. As such, it has served as a heuristic mechanism for the formulation of a coherent view of the world throughout Chinese intellectual and religious history. Hmm. Oh, so what you're saying is that yin yang is the pervasive energy of consciousness and everything else that pervades and exists across the entire universe. And as we know, everything in the universe can be broken down metaphysically into myriad of different points. And one of the main building blocks of everything that is, including you, the thing that you're sitting on, the thing that you're spinning around on, that's flying hundreds of thousands of miles through space or whatever, that some of y'all dumbasses think is flat. Oh, right. Somehow, them motherfucking Chinese motherfuckers way back in the day figured out what quantum entanglement was all the way back then. They just had a different name for it, right? Kind of brings you into a little interesting notion of some things because everybody has consciousness, don't they? Yup. What is consciousness? I don't know. What's it made out of? I don't know. Probably made out of photons, huh? And if photons exist everywhere in the universe and can be entangled and speak at vast distances and shit like that, well, that kind of does seem like a little bit of this whole entire thing, doesn't it? Interesting. Even more so interesting when we get into yin yang as the chi or ki or vital energy. The most enduring interpretation of yin yang in Chinese thought is related to the concept of qi. According to this interpretation, yin and yang is seen as qi, both in yin and yang forms, operating in the universe. In the Duke Shao chapter of the Soshan, the book of history, yin and yang are first defined as two of the six heavenly qi. There are six heavenly influences qi that descend and produce the five tastes, go forth in the five colors, and are verified in the five notes. But when they are in excess, they produce the six diseases. Those six influences are dominated by yin, the yang, wind, rain, obscurity, brightness, and their separation. They form the four seasons in their order. They form the five elementals terms. When any of them is in excess, they ensue calamity. In excess of yin leads to diseases of cold, of yang, the diseases of heat. Here, yin and yang are the key of the universe. This key flow within the natural as well as human worlds. They are the fabric of existence. The fabric of existence. Quantum entanglement of photons. There's a fabric of quantumly entangled particles that exist all across the universe. Interesting, isn't it? Kind of weird that we got that deep into all of that stuff, you would think. Heaven and earth have their regular ways, like men like these, for their pattern imitating the brilliant bodies of heaven in accordance with the natural diversities of earth. Heaven and earth produce the six atmospheric conditions key that make use of the five material elements. Those conditions and elements become the five tastes that are manifested in the five colors and are displayed in the five notes. Think about that. So, photons, one side, the other side. You figuring it? You picking up what we're putting down here? Because I don't know if I'm picking up what we're putting down here or not. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But it does make a whole lot of sense now when you look at the yin and yang, doesn't it? In the sense of cosmology, because they were defining these things far before we could have ever photographed them. And now that we have photographed them, what does that tell us? Well, A yin and yang could just be the physical representation of the quantum entanglement that we've been looking for a very long time. And it could also tell us a lot about where that dark energy comes from. Because, as above, so below, and so on, so forth. Whatever. Yeah. Think about that. Explaining yin and yang is rooted in the belief that everything in the universe consists of two forces that are opposing but complementary. The familiar black and white symbols appear everywhere, but the popular design for tattoos, jewelry, artwork. But what does the symbol actually mean? What does it actually mean? What does it actually mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just a really great representation that's been bastardized over many thousands of years of how the actual quantum structure of the universe works. It's just that we're all so fucking dumb and all them Chinese motherfuckers be hiding all this information from us. Whatever. I guess that maybe they had some historical ancient technology that we should have probably have fucking known about or something like that. I don't know. What I do know though is that damn, that makes me want to really get into that Reiki shit again. Yeah, Reiki, dude. You know what Reiki is? Right? Reiki is a complementary health approach where practitioners place their hands lightly on or just above a person with the goal of directing energy to facilitate the body's healing response. It's based on an Eastern belief that energy that supports the body is innate or natural healing abilities. Reiki. Chakure Seiki. Do you see it? You probably don't fucking see it because you can't see. Whatever. Okay, cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So yeah, Reiki might actually be fucking real. That's crazy as fuck. Yeah. Although it's Japanese, but what does it say? Reiki is a Japanese form of energy healing and a type of alternative medicine. Reiki practitioners use a technique called palm healing or on hands healing, which is according to the practitioners using the universal energy. What would be the universal energy? I don't know. What's expelled by all the suns and shit? Photons. So it's probably photons. And photons are quantum entangled. Yep. Okay. Cool. Reiki is a pseudoscience, and it is an illustrative example of pseudoscience in solid texts and academic journals. It's based on chi or ki, where practitioners say is the universal life force, although there's no empirical evidence that shows this life force exists. Clinical research does not show Reiki to be effective as a treatment for any medical conditions, including cancer, diabetic neuropathy, anxiety, or depression. Therefore, it should not be replaced conventional medical treatment. There is no proof of effectiveness of Reiki compared to placebo. Studies have reported positive side effects have methodological flaws. Yes. Oh, yes. The flaws. Vital energy, chi, spirit, soul, all seems to be kind of this same thing. It's almost like talking in the Akashic construct or the Akashic records. Very, very strange. Indeed. Very, very strange indeed. You know. I wonder what Crystal Links has for us. Ah, yes. Reiki. Reiki with Ella Crystal. Reiki. Huh. Reiki is a form of alternative medicine called energy healing. Reiki practitioners use this technique called palm healing or hands-on healing, which through a universal energy is said to be transferred through the palms of the practitioner to the patient and to encourage emotional or physical healing. Interesting. In 1995, I became a Reiki master to teach and rather work as a healer. Reiki both helps the teacher and student understand how energy works, allegedly to heal and raise one's frequency. It is an interesting experience, especially when done in the following by meditation. Symbols are used in different ways, but think about it. There is something right or wrong about is there something really right or wrong about the what works for a healer? The first symbol is Chaku which shows the consciousness moving as it spirals above and below and back depending on the directions, clockwise or counterclockwise, and correlates with motions in time. It also takes us to the rotations of the Merkaba and Swastika as other vehicles of conscious move in time. Just for fun, look at the symbol below and place your palms up and say the words Chaku. Pause for a minute or so, focus on your palms, and feel the energies. Incoming energy may radiate through your body, or you may feel nothing. Repeat as guided. You can next experience by placing your hands several inches apart and feeling the energy flowing. Next, slowly move them apart to see how wide the distance is until the energy is disconnected. The wider, the more powerful. The next step, if guided, practice on someone else but no one with a serious medical problem. The best hands on healers I know never studied any modality, they just go as guided. Hmm. Damn, what the fuck? What the fuck are we doing right now? If you want to draw the symbol in the air, make a 7, and then move your hands downward, clockwise or counterclockwise. You can also say Chaku. That's it. Depending on the direction of your hands, you will understand where your consciousness is in the time, or if it's stuck in an emotional grid. Right now, it should move counterclockwise as we return to the 0 point. Remember, the brain is an electrochemical computer that processes binary code through zeros and ones and creates patterns of experiences and realities. The illusion of the physical reality is created by the pattern of the Fibonacci sequence, the golden spiral of consciousness consisting of zeros and ones that align with the brain. The fuck? Symbol number 2 is Ki, an emotional issue that should be first, in my opinion. You can't feel the physical body without healing the emotional body first. The third symbol is Hanshaze Shoznen, distance healing, which means connecting your grids with another and shifting them. Not for everyone, but can you memorize the symbol? Hanshaze Shonen. Isn't it weird that all these things, it's like when you say Amen. It's almost the same thing as being like Chakure. It's almost like they have the same meaning or something. And what's this one? The fourth symbol is the master teacher symbol. Daikomyo. There are no masters, ascended or otherwise, just projections in the hologram. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. And it may sound like a lot of hippy dippy BS to you, but how is it that that hippy dippy BS seems to line up perfectly with scientifically what they're actually learning about stuff? I mean, who could have ever have thought that the mysterious dance of quantum entanglement would have looked like exactly, exactly like a yin and yang, which discusses the same energy that's been talked about, shared, discussed in various different cultures that exist in different parts of the world. Hmm. We must be in a simulation. Yeah. We must be in a simulation. Yep. Om, 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 om. Why does this keep popping up like that? Like, go away. Stop that. Did you know if the pole flip, the DNA would reverse as a right hand rule, the left hand rule? So the right handed DNA could eat all the left handed DNA. I don't know what you're talking about. Space. Let me hear that bass. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I don't know where we went with that one, but that was just the universe probably guiding me towards something that you probably needed to hear or whatever. I don't know. I'm supposed to be doing a job, but I'm not very good at it sometimes. Kind of lazy or whatever. But, you do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do, mate. You gotta do what you gotta do, mate. Then again, I guess that gives me enough time to actually push this one for, because I guess this is what we're supposed to be doing, right? Being an entry point. Oregon, USA, October 11th, 2021. Thought adjuster. Subject, be an entry point. Received by Anais. The measure of your human strength of character is your ability to resist the holdings of grudges and your capacity to withstand the brooding in the face of deep sorrow. Tact is a fulcrum of social leverage, and tolerance is the earmark of a great soul. If you possess these rare and charming gifts, as the days pass, you'll become more alert experts in your worthy efforts to avoid all unnecessary social misunderstandings. Thought adjuster. In his travels, Jesus presented liberating truth in the palatable form as so to whet the spiritual appetite of his associates. His constant intention were to facilitate their intuition or induction into the kingdom of the heart. Lifetime citizenship is acquired by passing many surprise character tests. Faith issues you a green card, but will only qualify you for permanent citizenship once you no longer pose a threat to the heavenly place in this inner promised land by consistently acting tactfully with your fellow men, especially those who try your patience. In this perspective, you may wisely step up your half hearted attendance to planetary schools of hard knocks, which provide you with an ever renewed opportunity to develop a greater strength of character. Avoidance is not on your side, whereas a diligent offensive but on your part yields the cornucopia of fruits of spirit. The valuable offerings you will contribute to the festive table of humankind. You are the first beneficiary of the progress you made towards emotional stability. Become an entry point for the quality of peace that passes all understanding and prevents all misunderstandings. Make generous allowances for your fellows who find themselves at different stages of emotional maturity. Turn challenging interactions into welcome catalysts for character growth. By thanking God for the good that will come out of them, you are coming from a place of gratitude, thus preventing an unfortunate shutdown of your heart that would ostracize you from your fellowship of the open hearts. Hmm. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Just finishing that one up on the whole situation with that. We talk about Reiki. You could talk about Hindu mysticism, Hindu religions, Hindu mythology. I feel like they're all pointedly talking about the same thing. Even the teachings, if you believe in Jesus Christ, he was saying the same thing, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Right? We're all made out of the same thing. We're all assembled in the same way. Only less than 1% of us makes us apparently who we are. Everything else is exactly the same. That less than 1% makes you short, fat, tall, small, black, white, yellow, whatever. The way that you process a sugar is the same way that a tree processes sugar. Think about it. I don't know where they're going with this one, but I feel like I've done my duty today. Whatever my duty is. But I definitely feel a renewed vigor in all of this because sometimes you just feel tired. And usually when I feel tired, it's because generally there's some upgrades that are happening. Little bits of things that are coming back in the forefront. Sometimes it's just a really hard problem that we've been trying to solve for very many years, and the brain is taking up all kinds of extra power to make that answer happen. Either way, I think we're pretty much done for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Griftcast IRL. And I hope you take a little bit of time to really try to understand what we just saw right there. Because I think it means a lot more than you think it does. But Then again, everybody's in a different place. I'm just here to be a benefactor in your progress. So I hope you trust the plan, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Make sure to visit us at griftcast.com to make donations, send us messages, follow us on all of our socials and stuff. And I guess we'll see you guys again on the next one. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and yes, Chaku Ray, say heki, daikamya. Trust me, it works pretty good. But you want to meditate first, and you got to like balance all your chakras or whatever. And then once you got all that done, then you could start doing the hand thing. And at first, it won't be easy for you. You probably won't even feel anything of it. But some of y'all, all you really got to do is press your hands together, and you can get it going. But then again, maybe I'm like one of the only ones. I don't know. Have a good one. Bye bye now.